Welcome to Ruckosaurus Rex, the channel where we review and discuss all things dinosaur and other prehistoric animals. You see what we got going on today, and I am looking very forward to this. Another offering from Creative Bee Studios. This is part of their Cyberzoic line, where past and the future collide. We are talking about the 1/18th scale Deinonychus, and really looking forward to this guy because this particular species of dromaeosaur is at the heart of certain confusion when it comes to raptors. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, to give you a little clue, a little hint, just zero in on that artwork. Does in particular the head? Does it remind you of something? We'll get back to that later. Anyway, the whole Cyberzoic thing from Creative Bee Studios is about prehistoric animals, dinosaurs, being used as steeds. They have battle armor, which is sold separately. I'm not into the Cyberzoic part of this line, just the dino part. And also a humanoid. And you can see that here on the back. You've got the thumbnail of the species itself. Then you see on our right, the upper right, some artwork with the dinosaur equipped. And then you can see right below the armor and how you would apply it. And then, of course, you've got the Badlands Sentry. That's the name of the humanoid that it comes with. Here's some more of that artwork right there. And now we're back to the front. And let's see what Deinonychus is all about. We've got our Deinonychus out of the packaging and the clamshell so we can see all what it comes with. As always, the tail detached, and you connect it via a dumbbell joint that's at the base of the body there in the rear. We have two additional sets of feet. So you've got a couple risers, steppers, and some closed-toe feet, which are usually use those when you have one of the legs raised up, or both, or whatever, because you also have a base there, and there are about 4 different parts. They're obviously transparent, so it's hard to see, but trust me, they are there. And I just realized that when I turned to the rear to show you the packaging, I did not read any of the bio, and I will do that now. The length for the Deinonychus, he in real life I'm talking about, is up to 11 feet long, weighed about $1.55 in pounds, part of the dromaeosaur family. Was in the Cretaceous time, lived in central USA. The meaning Deinonychus stands for terrible claw. As far as the action figure is concerned, 7.5 inches long, 19 points of articulation, a display base with optional parts, 3 sets of interchangeable feet, and a posable wire tail. So we've got our Deinonychus out of packaging, and as you can see, I've got it standing under its own power. No base utilized here, and admittedly it is not the most graceful pose. You could put this model in, that's what the base is for, but this is just to show you that it can be stood under its own steam. Anyhow, looking at the figure, I want to say model because I'm so used to saying model, but this is a bona fide figure, action figure. The base color, normally Creative Bee Studios, they base the color scheme for their action figures off of something that exists today, whether it be bird, reptile, or amphibian. They're based off that. This time, no such thing. It's actually based off of the color scheme from the original Dino Riders toy. So that's something. I found that pretty interesting. And speaking of that color, of course, the main base color is that brown that you see. But what stands out are those forearm feathers. Those look very nice, being a very dark, we can call it black. I think it's like a bluish black, and it just melts into the blue. For the pinions at the ends are pretty nice there. You look at that hind limb, and you've got like sky blue rings around the top of the ankle, and then the rest has got a nice brown kind of look. And you can see from the sickle claws that they're painted like an ivory, a bone white with a dirty wash on it. So pretty nice. And now we can take a look at that tail, and it's got that same blue. It's in reverse. The blue is coming away from the actual tail and ends in the black, whereas on the forearm wings it's black and then it goes out to the blue. So that's pretty cool. Our underside is a light color, and we've got a wash on the interior of those wings, of those feathers for the forearms. Very nice. We've got feathering on the neck, and you can actually see some more of that over there on the neck. On the underside there becomes a lighter color, but there's a dark wash, so you can see the details of the separations for those feathers. Now I'm going to put the forearms down so I can get you to see that skull. Now at the beginning I made mention of the confusion that this species of raptor brought on back in the day, talking about circa 1992. And looking at that skull, I'm sure you can see why. What does this remind you of? And remember, this species is Deinonychus, but it looks hauntingly similar to the Jurassic Park velociraptors, doesn't it? That's because this species is what the velociraptor from that series of movies is based on. It's just that they figured velociraptor sounded cooler than Deinonychus. I kind of beg to differ, but hey, they went with velociraptor. Velociraptors were smaller than these guys, and they had thinner snouts. You can see right there how robust this guy's snout is, and the coloration is pretty cool since we got him up there. He's got the blue feathering at the top of the head, pretty nice. We've got some like a rusty orange color right there at the fenestrae. His eyes are, wow, they look like they're kind of orange with a black pupil. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, you got the mandible down there at the bottom, pretty light. It's got a wash there, so you see the nice coloration. I'm going to open the mouth. Obviously, this is a Creative Beast Studios product, so we do have jaw articulation. We open that up. He can actually get his mouth open more than fairly wide. I was about to just say fairly wide. That's not giving it justice. In fact, it's too much. I got it open too much because the connecting skin is now being exposed to not being connecting. So let me go up a little bit, but turn him in so you can see the nice wet look, the painted teeth, top and bottom. Pretty nice there. Pretty nice. The articulation, let me zoom out just a little bit so we can see more of this guy. For the articulation, I already demonstrated the articulated jaw. The head, you've got articulation, so you can go left, right, up and down with the head, and with the neck, it's just a what am I trying to say here? Section neck. You can go left, right, up, and down with that. Also with the head, I should mention you can go side to side, so that's pretty cool right there. The forelimbs, you can see you can get it to spread open that far. You can move it up and down, rotating. I'm talking about. He's got articulation there at what we call the elbow, and then there at the paw there, and that's both sides. He's got articulation at the torso, so you can go up, down, left, right, and you can turn it a little bit. You got that. The hind limbs, you can spread out that much. You can rotate back and forward. He's got articulation at the knee, so you got that, plus it swivels. Then at the ankle, you've got articulation there at the ankle, and that also swivels. You've got articulation there at the foot. So that goes up, down, and that also swivels left and right. Then, of course, you've got the tail, the base at that dumbbell where you connect it up. So you can go up, down, left, right. You can even rotate it, you can rotate it round and round. And then, of course, it is bendy wire. So that is the articulation scheme for our guy, Deinonychus. And that right there, I mean, look at it right there. That's a velociraptor from Jurassic Park. These are very small, so I'm playing the cupping in my hand. These are the closed toes of the closed-toed feet for our Deinonychus, and these are the steppers. Here we have the translucent base, and I'm going to put my hand behind that too, so you can see that it actually, if I get the glare out, you can see that it has Cyberzoic on the base there, on the underside. And when you look at it, actually, it's on both sides. Wow, because I'm seeing it again. See that? That's crazy. Anyway, we get 2 pegs for this, and one of the reasons we get the pegs is because here's the stand for it. You can apply the one end into one of those pegs if you so desire, and then here is the C cup, I like to call it. That's what you apply this to the other end here, wiggle it down, and you have your base. And here's how the figure looks on the base. I applied the left stepping foot on the left side there, so it gives off that it's walking along. You also get a pair of these foot holders that you could use if you don't want to use the pole and the C holder right there. So what you do is you slide the feet or a toe inside there, and your action figure will stand up on its own without having anything protruding. And you could see how that works right there. So you don't have that. You don't have the bar, the pole, the rod, whatever you want to call it, poking out and getting in the way of your shot. So this is definitely a way to go in terms of being able to pose your action figure. And here is the comparison. It's the only comparison that would make sense, and that is the little guy. That's a velociraptor. Now, I want you to keep this in mind. That is also in the 1/18th scale. So this gives you an idea how small the velociraptor was compared to Deinonychus. And the size difference is considerable. Also, as I stated before, with the velociraptor, there's the snout is a lot narrower and more pointy than what we have here on our Deinonychus. So what you saw in Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, no bueno. And that even goes for as much larger as Deinonychus is to Velociraptor, even it wasn't human size. And so you get an idea of how large or small, depending on what you want to look at it, whatever your perspective is. Here is a 1/18th scale human figure. Of course, it's got to be Darth Vader. But yes, 3 3/4 scale figures, that's 1/18th scale. So these two right here are exactly how large they would look if a human being was there with them. And there it is, the Creative Beast Studios Cyberzoic Deinonychus, 1/18 scale. Very, very pretty figure. Those blues that, they're it's like a purplish kind of blue. They really, really pop on this. I was so glad to finally get this. A few years ago, when Creative Beast Studio put out 1/18 scale Raptors along with the smaller ceratopsians, Psittacosaurus, Protoceratops, they could not really put out Deinonychus because he's a tweener. See, all of the ones that they put out, like the Velociraptor that I showed previously, they were all around the same size, and you saw the significant size difference between a Deinonychus and those other raptors. So I was very glad when it was announced about a year and a half, 2 years ago, going into Kickstarter. I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting this. 1/18 scale accuracy. And speaking of the accuracy, this is a 7.5 inch figure. And if you do your calculations, that comes out to about 11.5. So it's right there with the accuracy of the size. So we got that going on. We got the two different additional sets of feet. We've got the base that gives you options. You've got the foot mounts, the foot blockers, so it could stand up without the rod and the C gripper. But if you want to stand it up that way, you have that option too. Very, very nice. Very nice indeed. What do you guys think about this one? The Cyberzoic, Creative Beast Studios, Deinonychus, 1/18 scale. Very nice indeed. That is my assessment. What is yours? Let me know down below. And while you're down there, hit the like button if you haven't done so already. You should have been done that. And if you have not subscribed, hopefully this review is kind of enough to win you over, and you'll subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I give you some more prehistoric goodness. Anyway, thanks for rocking with me, guys. Take care.